We're in Logic Pro, but don't worry about what DAW you're using. All of these mix tips are translatable to pretty much any modern music making software, or even an analog desk if you're not using a computer at all. Let's start by importing our multitracks into Logic. James is just going to simply drag them in. Once they are in the Arrange window, let's have a quick look at our audio files to make sure they all line up and that none of them are too loud. Now let's save the project. Next up, let's decide what order we want the tracks in. Now let's colour our tracks. Let's make our drums orange, our bass brown, our guitar yellow, our Rhodes pink and our vocals green. Now obviously you can colour the tracks however you like, but get used to how you colour them and do it the same way every time. Then it becomes really easy to identify groups of instruments, and if you know that, for example, your bass is always brown, it can make finding channels and tracks so much quicker. Now we can do some housekeeping and get all of the really boring stuff out of the way. We can trim out any silence, making sure of course that we're not removing an essential super quiet part. We can go through multiple takes and pick the best ones, and we can solo each channel and have a listen through and make sure that there aren't any pops, clicks, coughs or fart noises we need to remove. Now we're not going to normalize anything, we're not going to load any plugins, we're not going to put anything at all on the stereo output. We're going to go to the loudest part of the song, loop it and drag all of the faders down to the point at which we have plenty of headroom before our stereo output goes into the red. And then we're just going to listen and use the faders and the faders only to get a rough mix, a good balance. And then we're going to listen to the song all the way through at least a couple of times and make some mental or physical notes. What's the structure of the song? What are the emotional high and low points? We're going to try and build a mental picture of how we think the song should sound, and then we're going to stop and take a break and listen to something else. Have a cup of tea, glass of wine, whatever. Okay, so that was a little bit longer than a minute, but join us tomorrow on the 2nd of March, which is our official birthday, for part 2. You'll see us then.